Hello and welcome. I'm Stephen, and today we're going to review City's disaster class at Real Madrid. Where to start? Well, we can start with please liking and subscribing the video. So let's get that housekeeping out of the way. Um, yeah. So how was your evening? Where'd you watch it? I watched it at home with a couple of cans. If I'd have known what I was about to watch, I'd have opted for whiskey and a revolver. It was a disaster. I don't know where to start. So I suppose we'll sort of start at the beginning, eh? We're as good as that, aren't we? So we can safely say that. I think. I mean, there is a chance we can go through. Very small, but I'm not going to waste my time to talk about that now. We'll talk about how we've got here. How did we get here? Well, the lineup. When I saw it, I didn't like it. Well, when I first saw it, I thought it was a mistake. I thought there is no way we're doing this. There is no way Savio is starting this game on the strength of one good game in 18 months. There is no way Bernardo Silva and Roderick will be playing in midfield on their own. There's just no way. I mean, it didn't work against Nottingham Forest at the Etihad. It is highly unlikely going to work at the Bernabéu against Real Madrid. I thought it was a mistake. And then it transpired that it obviously wasn't a mistake. And it was a very, very high risk strategy. I mean, Madrid were struggling in the run up to the game. They were all crying at home on BT Sport, saying City the favourites. Madrid will be happy with a draw. And I suppose that was my view as well. But I mean, they made it sound like we were playing the dog and duck. I mean, it's obviously not the case, is it? You know, you looked at Real Madrid's lineup, they're obviously a threat. There was some good players, obviously some injuries, but they were a serious team who needed to be taken seriously. And I fear for whatever reason, the manager Pep Guardiola did not take Real Madrid. He didn't take them seriously. Yeah, they're struggling going into it. Beating at home off Getafe. Straight past Celta Vigo. You think, right, just go there, calm down, get the passes going, get 100,000 passes or 1,000,000 passes or whatever Pep's phrase was. And I said in my preview video, the technical players should have been playing Stones, Cherky, Aït-Nouri. Now, I'm not Aït-Nouri's biggest fan, particularly from a defensive point of view, but I thought he is untackleable. He is very, very good at keeping the ball and has played well at Liverpool and has been in good form since. Cherky, last time he played here at Real Madrid was very, very good. So I thought he was a shoo-in to start. And Stones was excellent against Newcastle and deserved to start on the strength of that, I think, because he's got the skills, he's got the experience, and again, can pass the ball and is I think is what we needed. And that would then put them under pressure, make them close us down, and all the rest of it. But the opposite happened, didn't it? The opposite happened. We didn't go with the passes. We went with the finishers, sort of like the guys who get at the end of things. So, what was the thought process? What was Pep trying to achieve? Well, if you look, you can tell yourself a story and make yourself very, very comfortable with. We'll play all four of them. We'll play Doku because he's bound to get the best out of to beat Trent Alexander-Arnold. We'll play Savio. He's in good form, so he's bound to get past this Mendy, who's a bit injured. He was taken off at half-time. Both were taken off at half-time. And Haaland and Semenyo can occupy their two centre-backs, and we'll be in, and bish, bash, bosh, not a problem. However, that is fantasy. That is stuff you do on Football Manager. That is stuff you do playing FIFA. It ignored the obvious flaws. Haaland and Semenyo don't get involved in build-up play typically. It doesn't take into account Savio's not at this level. It doesn't take into account the midfield that we had was still just Bernardo and Rodri. It doesn't take into account that their midfield, their forwards dropping back and outnumbering us all game. It doesn't take into account our shitness in front of goal as well. Because if you look at the first 10 minutes, we had plenty of chance. We had a couple of chances we should have done better with. But also in terms of position and formation. When's the last time Coutinho played right back? When's the last time Nico O'Reilly played left back? They haven't played there in a while, have they? And you're going, right, there you go. Boof. Get in there. Get in there. And again, you can say it's a story. Nico O'Reilly, last time he played there, was man of the match. He hasn't played there for weeks, months. And then you look at Semenyo and Gueye. I'll come on to them later as individuals. But I mentioned on earlier videos, if you buy players from Bournemouth and Palace, you get Bournemouth and Palace results. Now, that isn't a slight on those two as individuals, because I think they both started really, really well. But it's about mentality. It's about, are you used to playing at this level all the time? No, is the answer. So to give two of them their Champions League debuts away at Real Madrid just seems like lunacy to me and unnecessary. You know, it just didn't seem very good. So we were flawed from the start. We were set up to fail, if you will, outside of, you know, fantastical thinking. But we started okay. I thought in the first, 10, 15 minutes with a better team. Doku is getting some joy. 2 balls across the 6-yard box. You got Semenyo and Haaland there. Maybe Sadio coming at the back post. Maybe. Two are crying out for a tap-in. Nothing. No one there. What are finishers doing on the pitch if they're not finishing? You know? You might as well play all the midfielders from back in the day. You know, Foden or Gundogan would have been there. And then we had Doku's central run. He ignored Haaland, didn't pass through, took it on himself, and then the sort of opportunity sort of died on the vine, didn't it? And then after that, it was just a shit show, really. I mean, if you go back and you look at when we've been eliminated from the Champions League, right? What springs to mind? Monaco, Liverpool away, Tottenham at home, Real Madrid when they did us at the death. And it's because we're not switched on at the back or not set up correctly at the back, and we just concede goals like they're going out of fashion. And at this level, you can't guarantee you're going to turn it around. You know, they're not an average Premier League team, are they? It's high-level competition, and to give away goals the way we did was pathetic. Pathetic. You know, let's start with the first one. It's Courtois' first assist for Real Madrid. How long has he played there? 10 years. Booted it. Now, Nico O'Reilly, I love the guy, but that is pathetic. It's awful. It's awful defending. But don't worry, the goalkeeper's there to pull you out of the shit. Well, he didn't do very well either, did he? I know he pulled his hand away, and should he or shouldn't he? But right, we're 1-0 down after 20 minutes. Right, okay. We were there 1-0 down earlier in the season there, and it wasn't that much of a problem. So we're 1-0 down. Whatever you do, don't collapse. What happens next? You know, does Diaz running, deflection, goes to Valverde. Again, O'Reilly steps off him. Valverde, good finish. And then the third goal, so 3 goals in 22 minutes. You're dead, aren't you? You're dead when you start doing that. So 3-0 at half-time. But don't worry. As Donald Trump would say, help is on the way. Help is on the way. And very similar to Donald Trump, help wasn't on the way. Reinders for Savio. Honest to God. When I saw him, my heart sinks. My heart sank. He's the only man who has a birthday cake and the candles blow him out. I'm telling you, fucking weak, useless. Whatever the question was, whatever the problems were, he wasn't the answer or the solution, as we saw. So, oh God. And then we give a penalty away. Straight ball down the middle, Kusov slips, whatever he's doing. Donnarumma, again, doesn't cover himself in glory. Penalty to Real Madrid. And I'll tell you what, the bean counters at the ticket office are made up. Donnarumma saved that. That goes in, it's 4-0. Your tendency 20,000 down. Easy. So, good save. Good that we've got a keeper now who can save penalties. You know, saved one against Leeds, saved one yesterday. That's a slight positive on a shit show. Yeah, then we huffed and we puffed. We didn't blow the house down, did we? Fucking hell, we were huffing and puffing. The three piggies weren't anything to worry about. Jesus. Yeah, O'Reilly had that short, great save from Courtois, but that wasn't creating, was it? That was just down to effort, closing people down, getting your foot in, something that more players than should cannot do at our team. They can't fucking run. Loads of them can't run. Can't run properly, can't close down properly. Is it a transfer thing? Is it a setup thing? Is it an individual thing? I don't know. Haaland can't run. Can't close people down. Semenyo blocks lanes, but he's not a sprinter, is he? Closing people down. You remember Foden, Bernardo Silva, David Silva, all them at the best. Busy. Make people do things they don't want to do. All too easy. And, does it come back to the manager? I mean, I think it does, doesn't it? I mean, I'm going to be player rating shortly and go through the players. And spoiler alert, not one gets above 6.5. But the manager's got to set them up appropriately. And Pep will come in for a lot of stick, given that lineup, both internally, probably, the players themselves, and externally for fans, pundits, etc. But I'll talk about Pep in a minute. But the level of performance of the players was nowhere near it. Nowhere near the level required. Who had a good game? Who did normal stuff? Kusanov, maybe? Doku, maybe? There's not a lot there, is there? There's not a lot there that you can say, listen, the formation was a shit show, but I did all right. The subs are okay when they come on. Cherki, Marmoush, Nate Nori, but we'll come on to them. We'll come on to that in a bit. But I've heard opinions galore today, and one of them is Craig Burley, ESPN. Pep's off at the end of the season. This is his last hurrah, the last throw of the Champions League dice for him. Now, I don't buy into that at all, right? But that'll be 2 last 16 exits for City, barring a miracle next week. That's not good enough. That's too early for a club like City to be going out at, whether that's from a commercial standpoint, the revenues, but also an image standpoint. We're normally in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, playing Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, etc. To go out again early, it's not really good enough. It's not good enough. So what's the solution? Just buy more players, sell and buy. I don't know, because all the players we've bought, I like by and large. But there's something not. And I said it before the Forest game on to the game. I said, we've got really good players, but there's something just not quite right, whether that's a mentality thing or whether that's having a player who is just better than everyone else, like we've had Kevin De Bruyne in the past, like we've had Sergio Aguero in the past. Someone who just can make a difference and just blam one in for 25 yards. We haven't really got that, have we? We haven't really got that. And I go back to, the transfer policy, buying people from Wolves, Palace and Bournemouth. There is an adjustment. There's an adjustment to come into a team like City. And playing both then, again, I maintain was a mistake. Again, but both from some tactical point of view, but also from a profile point of view and an experienced point of view. But credit to Real Madrid, by the way. Credit to Real Madrid. I love that Valverde. I think he's fucking brilliant. He's exactly what we need. Someone who can run. Someone who can strike the ball well. Can you imagine? Right, here's one for you, if you're still listening. Which one of our players scores one of those goals, never mind all 3? One goes around the goalkeeper. Good finish. The other one, he's chasing the ball down, touches his right, blams it on his left foot, weaker foot. Another one, subtle skill and a good composed finish at the end. Which one of our players can get close to any of those finishes? Foden on his day does the third one and the second one. Haaland, do any of them? Well, yeah, he might do the second one. Marmoush probably does the first. Doku and Savio, fucking forget him. Cherki maybe the second one and the third. I don't know, but you get my point. We're not good in front of goal, are we? We're fucking bad in front of goal. None of them can shoot properly for a start. None of them are in there either. Fucking, oh, God. Right. Anyway, but bring a bit more structure back. Right. Player ratings. Like I said, spoiler alert, no one gets more than 6.5. I've written all my scores down. I reserve the right to change my mind as I talk about each one. Donnarumma. The first one, he'd come out and he didn't get there. You know, these things happen. Apparently, he made a howler in the first game against Real Madrid as well. I can't remember it. If you can, please put a comment in, because I can't remember it, and I don't really care either. He's obviously a very good goalkeeper. I was on Blue Moon earlier, went on the Donnarumma thread and saw the word Pickford. So then that's enough Blue Moon for one day. Yeah, so first one, not great. Second one, I don't accept that he should have done better. Maybe the goalkeeper coach would tell me, but on viewing, Valverde took it wide, not too wide though, get a good angle, good, powerful, low shot. No one closed him down well enough, and it's in. And the third one, he had no chance, and he obviously with the penalty away, which was poor, but redeemed himself and saved it. So, Donnarumma a 6, I think. I think could have been fucking worse. You know, a couple of other good saves as well. So yeah, fine. Kusanov, I give him a 6. I had him in my starting 11, but that was based on us controlling the game and him being some sort of insurance policy like Kyle Walker was back in the day. It was not based on he needs to go and support Semenyo, because that's just not, and Savio in the first half, that's just not happening in any successful way. So no, I wasn't. I didn't like that. I just thought he'd be I'd ignore the left back, or then bomb forward, and he's Axel insurance policy. But no, it didn't quite work that way. Yeah, there's a couple of times he could have passed to Semenyo quicker in the second half, but didn't do it. Is that a capability thing? Is it a confidence thing? Is it I'm up in the second half and I'm nervous? I'm not sure. But he kept plugging away. He never gives up, does he? He's the least of our worries. So like I said, give him a 6. Ruben Diaz. I mean, I'll give him 5.5 on here. But some of the stuff is he can't do anything about. He can't help being slow. And he can't help offering very little on the ball. So to knock him down for that seems harsh. But was he unlucky for their second goal when it came off him and landed himself Valverde? Was he unlucky for the third goal when it just went over his head? Or is he out of position? Is he the unluckiest defender on the pitch? Or is he in the wrong place to start with? I don't know. But is he? We signed a new contract recently, hasn't he? So he's not going anywhere. Would Kusanov be better for centre half? I don't know. He's there for leadership. He's played there loads of times. He offers some security, but he's a leads away man, isn't he? Editing, clearing, or defending the halfway line with a safe structure in front of him, which stops balls being bland over the top with no pressure on, which stops quick turnovers. You know, if we are playing a high line, then people need closing down, don't they? And that hasn't been happening. So yes, what did I say for him? 5.5, 5.5 out of 6. I think that's fair. Mark Gay, 4.5. I've given him. I knocked him down. I thought he was shit against Forest and shit again last night. Miles away, particularly in the first half, miles off it. I'm not questioning the sign. I'm questioning the decision to make a player who was at Palace a couple of months ago, you're starting centre-back and giving his debut away at Real Madrid. I would have preferred Stones. Stones is better on the ball, more experience, more embedded partnership with Ruben Diaz, and I think that'd give us a better base. It wouldn't give us any more pace, but I think it'd give us a better base to start with. But yeah, probably play against West Ham and then drop it for the home game. Give me some confidence. I mean, if you can't play well against West Ham, then he is fucked, isn't he? But no, I'm not writing him off. We're just saying a couple of bad games. But again, not his fault. Shouldn't be starting that game. Nico O'Reilly, left back. probably his worst game for us. Probably his worst game for us. Now, he played left back there a few months ago and was man of the match, right? So the decision in and of itself to play him at left back, not even there, is it? He's proven track record playing left back. When was the last time he played there? Ages ago. He's been settling in midfield. He's been brilliant in midfield. Rodri, Bernardo, him in midfield. It's what we needed. What we needed. I mean, he should have much better with both their goals, as far as I'm concerned. Nearly scored, though, through effort, closing down, and running a bit, which I mentioned earlier. A couple of others could follow that example if it's not too much to fucking ask. Jesus Christ, the Champions League, and fucking, oh God, yeah. So 4 for him. He's really poor, but play him in midfield against West Ham, and then we can go from there. Rodri, I give him a 6. Decent enough on the ball, knocking out to Doku, but giving no chance for the setup. No chance. I mean, I'm going to keep banging on about this. It didn't work against Forest. So why playing him and Bernardo in midfield was going to work? And if you want more evidence, go and have a look at Bodo Glimt's away when he stood there on his own. Go and have a look at United away when he stood there on his own. He's hung out to dry. And and have we all forgotten? Have we all forgotten? He had 9 to 10 months out. He's obviously older, obviously slower, obviously not as agile. And we're just asking him to do the same job that he did in a high-functioning team with Kevin De Bruyne next to him, flying Bernardo Silva, and go, yeah, off you go. Go do the same again with inferior players. No, they're inferior now. They might not be in the next few years, but you've got to give him a chance. You've got to give him a chance. I'll give him a 6. I'm not blaming him. And Bernardo, probably 5.5, similar to Rodri. Had no chance with the setup. Yeah. I just do not understand what we thought was going to happen. What we thought was going to happen. But yeah, he was always going to play, wasn't it? But you need more people in there. They're outnumbered. They need more people. And they're older as well. That is not 2 20-year-olds running around like lunatics, is it? No. They're slow. Things experience and no positions, but they're slow. They're slow. Savio, 3. Give him a 3. Thought I'd given him 1, but I did. Listen, if you want to hear me slag Savio off, there's plenty of other videos to watch me slag him off. Loads of them. But he should never start this game. On what basis did he start this game? He's a winger, and he had a good game on against Newcastle. Is that it? His first game in 18 months. And I know Pep likes wingers, and stick Semenyo out there then. And get Church in the middle of Foden or fucking or someone else. Anyone. He shouldn't have started. He's ineffective. He's not up to it at this level. Certainly not at the moment. Maybe we'll be in fucking 3 years' time when he's playing for someone else. But he's not up to this level. And he was taken off at half time. So, you know, we've accepted that was a mistake to play it. And he's never have started. Never have started. So give him a 3. Semenyo, Antoine Semenyo, 4. Give him a 4. I thought he looks a bit better in the second half. Had a shot, didn't he? Another game, though, he does fuck all. Which is fine. When you play at home, on the way to Leeds or Nottingham Forest or someone, and you score. But not at this level. Everyone's got to be involved. Everyone's got to be doing something. And again, I go back to it, simply not up to this standard this regularly. And he needs to do more. He needs to be more involved. And this long throw thing, by the way. I watched him against Chelsea. He's just throwing. Brilliant. What do we do? Oh, don't do any of that. Don't do any of that. Don't do any of that. And whilst I'm on it, I may have mentioned this earlier, I can't remember. We're on our set pieces. We need to buy a set piece taker as a priority. Maybe more than one. Whoever is on our list of players in the summer, one of the criteria has to be good free kick and or corner taker, because we haven't got one. None of them. None of them are any good or reliable. None of them. Yeah, I wouldn't have played him though. Again, I wouldn't have played him. I thought we didn't need that. We needed passers. We didn't need whatever it is he offers. Yeah, he's all right at blocking passing lanes and all the rest of it, but he's wasn't the races. Not up to it this level, yeah. Not up to it. Good Premier League player, not fucking Real Madrid away player. No, I'll give him a 4. Doku, 6.5. I think he's the highest scorer. I mean, I might even be generous here. Kept plugging away. Final ball wasn't great, but 2 chances he set up in the first half, rolled across the box, no one there. He has every right to say, go on then. You can argue about his poor final ball all day long, and percentage-wise, yeah, it might be poor, but he's laid 2 on a plate there for someone to get on the end of. And if you look at the stills, where did these people think the ball was going to go? It could only go there. And they're all hanging around at the penalty box or the far post. It's like, get in there, make a difference, make a run. And then you take defenders in with you anyway. And it could go off them, or you could get a penalty, whatever, but fucking standing there watching it isn't going to do the business, is it? But he did dally a couple of times, like I mentioned earlier, that run through the centre. Could have passed the Haaland, didn't. Then went on his own and nothing happened. And the second half, Cherky put him in, but he wanted to take too many touches. Cherky went mental at him. But yeah, I think overall he kept plugging away, didn't he? He kept plugging away. And I think he keeps trying. I mean, he had 3 people on him at one point. So where's everyone else? Oh, no. I don't know. Erling Haaland. Oh, God. I've written down 2 as my note for him. And I don't know if that's harsh or that's generous, to be honest, depending which camp you're in. I mean, one of the camps is, what's he supposed to do? He doesn't get any service. What's he supposed to do? Well, I'm sick of hearing that. Like I mentioned, 2 good balls across the box. No one there. Nowhere near it. Happened yesterday. It's happened against Forest. Happened against Sunderland. Happened against Chelsea. It happens all the fucking time. And he's nowhere near it. Well, let's put that to one side, right? Let's say it's back to the wall. We're struggling here. We're not creating anything. Where's your intensity? Close someone down. Hit someone. Again, go back to saying against United. You're just not doing enough. And honestly, I'm not saying sell it, but there needs to be a change of approach, doesn't there? Obviously, we're putting crosses in and he's not there, right? So what else is there? What is the other strategy to get him on the end of things, to get him on the ball? Is it, play three balls like Kevin De Bruyne did? Well, we haven't got him anymore, have we? So let's play Cherky. Oh no, he's on a bench. Oh, let's Reinders can do it. No, he fucking can't. So we need a change of approach, and I don't know how we move on from it, because we simply cannot have every big game him stood there like Piffy saying, where's the ball? You've got to do a bit more. Listen, Ronaldo stands there, does fuck all, goes tapping, but he's 40. My age, 43 or something. Haaland's what, 25? Run around a bit, can't he? Don't look like it, but I'd like him to. So yeah, 2 for him. And set pieces. I know I've said before, set pieces. We haven't really got a good set piece taker. He's massive. How hard can it be? And make himself known. When was the last time he scored a header off a corner? When was the last time he made first contact off a corner or a free kick? And yeah, the delivery might be poor, but they can't all be poor, can they? Can they? I don't know, but get your ass in gear. Jesus Christ. Yeah, 2 for him. Subs. We'll whip through these. Reinders. I've just written my note. I have to check my notes now. 1. Give him 1. If he didn't take the corners, we wouldn't have known he was on the pitch. A daft smile, a daft haircut. I can't be doing with him. Time waster. Whatever the problems was at half time, I don't know what what problem he solved. I don't. Well, he didn't solve any, did he? And it was never going to either. More to the point. Yeah, just shit. But someone's like 28 in the summer. No one's buying him, are they? Loan to Everton or summer. I don't know. He can't carry on, can he? He got 50 million quid in the summer. He's supposed to be our Gundogan, KDB replacement. Fucking James McAtee replacement, more like it. Jesus Christ. Marmouche. Played really well against Newcastle. I didn't expect him to start today. But I don't know where we go with him. Because he looks all right when he came on, plugged away, won a free kick, had a shot, put himself about a bit. Or more than Haaland did. So you're like, right, okay. Can he start the second leg? I'm not sure. Doubt it, because the Champions League, Haaland has to play. But he's got to start West Ham. If he doesn't start West Ham, all bets are off, and he can walk out the door as far as I'm concerned. But I think we're missing a trick with him. Yeah, he's not perfect. He's not a perfect player by any means. He puts effort in. He runs round, wins the ball, wins free kicks. He doesn't just fucking stand there and say, "Give me the ball," does he? Oh God. Oh. But yeah, 6 for him, and he's in decent form, isn't he? Decent enough. But again, he comes on against Real Madrid, didn't come on against Nottingham Forest. I still see. I've got my grave not knowing why he didn't come on against Nottingham Forest. Ryan Cherky, I give him a 6. I was probably a bit pissed by the time he come on. Not pissed enough though. Pissed means drunk for any American viewers who are still watching this. I'm not his biggest fan, and I've mentioned I'm not his biggest fan on multiple videos. But what more does he have to do? What more does he have to do to start a game? He played well there 4 months ago. So why is he in? I don't know. And he looked all right when he came on, didn't he? Like I said, put Doku in, did a few other bits and pieces, calm, kept the ball. But yeah, I think we looked better with him on, didn't we, than we didn't. Same with Aït-Nouri. Give him a 6 as well. Thought he offered more balance when he came on. He's just what we needed. And then O'Reilly went to midfield, and I think we looked better. But all in all, it was a disaster. It was a disaster. I didn't think I'd swear as much as I did. I thought I'd come to terms with the result. Obviously, I hadn't. And I'm disappointed at everyone from the management for picking that team and thinking it was a good idea, and the players, whilst some being hung out to dry, some putting in really bad performances, really bad. And is it a reflection of our transfer strategy? I don't know. Maybe that's a question for another day, but it is a question for another day. I'm not answering it now. I think by and large, I bought good players. By and large, obviously they're not as good as Alvarez or Mahrez, are they? Obviously, but doesn't mean you're shit, and it doesn't mean you can't get better. So, well, they need to get better, don't they? And sharpish. Right, okay. We'll leave it there. I think my main takeaway again, you can't play like that at this level and expect not to get hiding, and that's what we got. Very similar to the United game, I thought. Just let them run for the fucking mid-levels. We need to buy some midfield players who can run in both directions. Oh, fucking sideways would help as well. So yeah. Yeah. Says it all, doesn't it? Says it all. Okay, so yes, thank you if you've got this far for joining my therapy session. Please do like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I'll be back on Saturday morning, I think, for the preview for what is a must-win game at West Ham. If we've got any chance of keeping this season anywhere near alive and interesting past next Tuesday, we need to beat West Ham on Saturday. No ifs, no buts. So yeah, thanks a lot. Please like and subscribe. Onwards and upwards. Take care.